All right, here we go. It is Friday now, 12 a.m., October 10th. Checking out the SPY here. Let's take a look back. Going back to COVID, of course. Let me bring this down. COVID seems like just this is so long ago now. 5 years, 206. Look at that drop here. And then we came right back. It's climbing, little moves down. It goes to this big wedge, 2022, and that's where it changed too. You went down there. It was the high, like 476 ish. And you came down. Look at this back and forth trend line. It was down about 8 months, I believe I counted, 8 to 10 months. And then it made that move. That was the last move right here. It was October 12th. And then we started to make our way up. And ever since then, too, you had some little pullbacks here. You had one in 2023, climbed again. It'll draw down April 24. July and August of 2024 is a pretty good drop. Then we went up again, of course, and then we got to about 613. Then, of course, Trump tariffs. We went to a low of 481. And look where we're at now, 671. So we've been going up, and away. You have small moves, nothing big at all. It was like 3, maybe 5%. And now we're at 671.97. All right, so I have this right now. 10% drop will put it at, let me check my calculator. 605. That would be 10%. 15% will put it at 5. I believe it's 70. Was it at 5? I think it's 576 or 582. That would be a 15% drop. 20% would be 538. 25.60% will put at 500, this trend line coming across. That would be a pretty big drop. Now, are we going to get to at least 10%? Of course. We're going to get a 10% drop somewhere along the line here. I'd like to see closer to 20. I'd like to see a flush out of all this meme stuff. What do you got here? The AI, of course, AI, goals is soaring up. Everything's just soaring. AI, quantum. It's absolutely these companies make no money. It's all a pump. That's what I think will drop the market. Now you look at the weekly too. Look at this trend line right here, 2020, 2022. You had 2023, 2025. So this is a very good trend line going all the way down. Now we're at the top of the trend line here, going all the way back to, you can say, 2018. Now remember 2018, I think it was late. I'm not sure what this was about. And then credit crisis, I think it was late 2018. And then that was a pretty good drop. You see that it moves here, got bigger from there, bigger COVID, even bigger with that the Russia-Ukraine war 2022. You had a small move 23, and then you have Trump tariffs. So that's where we're at right now. This trend line goes to 18, 22, and where we're at now. We're at the high line, which high line we dropped eventually. We dropped 22 and we will drop now. Just depends when we will drop. Monthly chart. Now you go back actually to 2000. Look at this. The line goes all the way up right now. You're at the high point of the line. Yeah, when the dot-com crashed, look at that. It was like 3 years. Then you start to go back up, 03 to 07, came back, financial crisis. Then you came, the move forward, 2010. Look at that. So drop, well, touch here, the third touch, and then he broke out, this big breakout. And from there, we just kept moving. Now, you did have a little move 2010 on this monthly and 2011. Yeah, some candles in here. 2015, 16 wasn't that great. Well, end of 2015, you could say. Yeah, small little pullbacks. And then really that's where you start to see the volatility that wasn't that great of volatility. Look at the volatility this compared to this. 2018. Look at that. Then end of 2018. Was it like 17? Was it 17 or 18? Beginning of 18. That was the beginning of 18. Then this is late 18 to 19. Then you have COVID. Then you have the Russia-Ukraine war. You need a little pullback here. And then you have small little candles here, but then you had Trump tariffs. So see the high line, low line. We're getting more volatility since 2018. A lot of things have changed. 2018 was the start of it too because of the credit What Powell, remember, they said he like talked about raising interest rates then. That was 7 years ago. And people flipped out, they panicked, and that's what happened. And then we have all kinds of situations. You have COVID, that Russia-Ukraine war, tariffs. What's the next thing going to drop? It's going to be a bubble. It's going to be a bubble in, to say crypto. It's going to be a bubble in AI, quantum computing, the market overall. People repossessions are very high rate. They said housing too. Housing's a mess. You have gold going sky high. That's not good. Gold shouldn't go up to 4,000 plus. I believe if the economy is really true. That doesn't make sense. People just say, "Oh, it's going up, gold." Like that's not good. Then that means most people are probably doing bad if gold is just going up and away. A lot of things are happening here. Subprime and auto loans are not good. Yeah, people are priced out of housing. Housing's tripled. You're talking a house, maybe 200 some thousand. It's now like 400,000. It's not worth it. It's crazy. I'm in Philadelphia. The housing, I'm like, this house is that's 300 some thousand. It's a joke. Like, I'd rather move to an island somewhere and work, online and wait for it to crash or something. It makes no sense. I'm not buying a ridiculous house that it's overpriced. It's absolutely absurd. So this is the monthly here. A lot is going on here. Now, will we rally into the end of the year? Maybe something's going to happen the next year. That's what I think possibly could happen. You're at 98.56 on stochastic. It's very high. It's one of the highest levels ever, I believe, on the quarterly. I've done this before. I wrote about this. Look at this. Oh, yeah, 99.50. It's going up. It's never been at 100. Look right here. You're at 97.21. You're at 99.39. 96, 97, 98. And 2000 wasn't even that close. It was 90, what? 97. And this was at 95. So look at the high line here. We're at the high line. Keep pushing that. Now you have an extreme low line from financial crisis. That would be some sort of disaster. That would be a crash. Because 25% here. This is got to take 40 to 50%. That low line goes all the way down here. And we haven't hit that since COVID. That's pretty crazy. Then you have the line right here. This is the line we're in now. We're in a trend up, trend line 18, 22 up, low line 20, 23 up from tariffs. So that's where we're at. Yearly chart. Yearly chart, you can see 3 bright candles. That was the worst move in the market. It was about 3 years. Financial crisis was only a year and 6 months. The actual, damage, and it was green candles. Hit a little doji. That was 2018. 2022 was the third. It was actually size of the actual move was second worst. But financial crisis, everything was collapsing. So you could put it in that way. So we've had 3 major moves in the market: 2000, 2008, and then 2022. And then look at this, all green candles. You didn't even know COVID was in here on these candles. That was 2020. And then you didn't even know right here with that hammer going up with the tariffs. We're at the high line. And then, where are we going to get a pullback? We're at 97.94 on the yearly. It's going up. It's actually turning up. It's very scary. 99.34. That was 2021. And then you know what happened next. And then what else you got here? 96. Yeah, 96. Then there's nothing. Doesn't get that far back. So, when are we going to see a big pullback? Somewhere in between here. Is it going to be in the next year? I think that possibly could happen in maybe after January, February, March. We'll see. If something happens. 10%. It's not that big. Like to see around that 20%. And let me go back to on my chart, on my moving averages. So you can see right now, we're well above everything, moving average. See the weekly. Yeah, the weekly to 200 days all the way down here. That's close to that 500 level. 10% right there. The weekly to be 650 day. Where's the monthly? Monthly to 200. It's way down there at 283. We're well above that. And we're well above the 50 day. It's 496. We're this sky high party on. It's absolutely incredible. Quarterly chart. There's no even 200 day. On the quarterly, the 50 days at 342. It's absolutely insane. Look at the quarterly, how this is the thing too, when you're getting too far away from the 13 EMA, look at this. That's at 529. The 20 is at 489, well above it. Well above the 5 day even. Where's the 5 day? The 5 days at 620. You could come down to 620, it'd be nothing on the quarterly chart. We're so far above. Now, go back to 2000. See, we're running right on the line. 2007, 8, we're running on the line. We're very close to everything. Starts to run up. 2013, 14, 18. You see that the 5 days running right through that. And the 50 day is not that far away. Then it starts to get far away. It looks like 2020 when COVID happened. Look at that. Then you didn't go fully back down. And now you're very far away from moving averages. This is interesting. I didn't really look at this in the quarterly with all the averages well above everything. And the yearly, we have anything in the yearly? Okay, the yearly does come in at the 5 days at 518. The 9 days, 422. The 13's 355. And the 20 days, 275. We're so far above. Look at this yearly on Stochastic. Was that MACD? No, this is MACD. Doesn't show much because this chart, is relatively new, I guess. And you're just sky high. You're green over red, not even close to Elliott wave. Everything's just running smoothly here. Pretty amazing. This is my other chart with exponential moving averages. It's going to make it a little bit tighter. See the yearly. 5, 13, there's the 20. Quarterly chart. Put the 5 day at 625. 50 days way down there, EMA. Exponential moving average. Monthly chart. See the monthly to 5 days at 646, and you're 9, 13, 20, way down here. This so far above these moving averages because the market is so pumped for a long time. Now you can see Elliott wave on this on the weekly, sort of fading a bit. See the strength is going down, has come down, and money flow, it's way up there. Everything RSI. All right, so there it is. We'll see. Will we hit any of these points, between the rest of October and the next year? I believe sometime next year. If it's not, this year, will we hit anything like 10%? I would say definitely next year you're going to see a 10% drawdown. Could we get to 20? It's possible. But who knows what's going to happen in the market as far as Black Swan event? Is AI is going to be so overhyped? Is quantum like what's going to bring down the market exactly to a big crash? And then once you fall, you actually want about 10, 15, 20% because then you can get back in the market, flush out the system. People are just buying anything now. Any name has no revenue. It's just all garbage. All right, so the SPY 10-year performance, look at this, sort of 49%, 101, 5, 3 years, 77, all the way, it's been all green. Party rally running out of fuel. Zach, see some news here. Stock market keeps on giving. Unquestioned a good thing. History repeats. Number one exchange rate fund. Robinhood can make investors millionaires with 1,000 ETF billionaires. Market takes a break from all-time high. People on stock twits. SPY, one of the best critiques I've seen in stock was you can't have the market control at your will. Of course, this is anticipate in general direction, not against. Last minute change already shifted. See the weekly chart here. I see the weekly that dips 23. There was big volume here. The tariffs are straight up. It's a wedge. Anyone who's a technical analysis, it's absolute wedge right here. You go up, draw your line. It's forming a point from this candle and even over here. It will be a big fall eventually. And I actually like to 614. When you have that move up, you can see it right here, that cluster monthly chart, like 600, 612. And this is the 50-day. See, we touched the 50-day. All on these runs from 2008. Look at this. Touching the drops, touching that drop. Now, for this to drop to touch that would be pretty wild. That'd have to put in a big tail to come close to it on the monthly. So time will tell. It's just a matter of time. And what I say right here, this line right here, 600 to 614. Yeah, that would be about a 10%, 7 to 10% drop. Nothing huge. That would be normal. But is it bigger? One looming. But everything is going on out there. The market's just going up, momentum. There's nothing really stopping it at this point with AI, quantum. It's just being pumped. Everything gold is going up. The market is flooded with all this AI money, quantum money, this open AI, all that. They're getting 500, was it billion? So, yeah, eventually this will be a drop. It's just when will it happen? That is the key question. Yeah, the monthly, the big dip, you're still not at a crossover yet. It's very close. It's hugging on a stochastic level, 98.56 white, 97.66 red. It's very tight here. So we will see what happens, but my prediction would be sometime between now and this point into, I would say, early next year, before June at least, you're going to get some sort of big drawdown. Maybe get to 20%, 17, 15%. It'd be very solid, but we shall see. But we've hit that line every time on that monthly, going back to 20. Well, actually, 2000, we're looking at 2020, the COVID drop with a wick. 2022, this bottom, 23, this bottom, 25 bottom. So that would be over 20% if we draw down. Now, eventually it could go up even higher, then you start to get moves down, then maybe a bigger drop or something that happens. Black swan event. Yeah, that would put it around 20%. So we'll see what happens. That's my prediction. I think we're going to get somewhere 15 to 20% in the next year. Possibly that's when it could happen. It's going to happen this month. I don't see it unless something dramatically happens. But I don't know how high we can just go. How high are we just going up? We can just, full steam ahead. It's losing steam in the market. You're not getting such big moves every day. Candles are getting smaller too. So that's it. We'll see. Map this out. We'll come back before, next June. We'll see what happens. We have some sort of big move. It's all open right here. Any move, this will waterfall fast. I mean, look how we went from 614 to 481 in 3 months. The market goes up very nicely, strong moves, small pullbacks, and then you just drop like a rock. Elevator down is the old saying. All right, so that's it. Please subscribe to Mike Kim Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button. Late night we go, and we're out for now. Peace.